Fox 14.
You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Right now at 7, it's Foster Care Month, and our very own Fernanda Silva shares how one organization is working to keep kids out of foster care.
Plus, the Joplin School Board members are working to stop a bill that will adjust aid to school districts across Missouri.
And we've got scattered showers and thunderstorms out there. One thunderstorm just kind of parked over Jasper and Newton County this morning. We'll have a look at that forecast to get you out the door coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Elise Snowe.
And I'm Chris Warner, just after 7 a.m. on this Thursday morning here in the 4 states. We got some thunderstorms out there.
Yes.
So I do want to take a moment because I'm sure a lot of folks, they're waking up, getting ready. There's a lot of lightning with the storm over Joplin, stretching down in Newton County. It is not strong. It is not severe.
But a lot of action.
But a lot of lightning. Yes. That lightning can be dangerous. It can be deadly. Also, a lot of heavy rain. It's kind of just training. Yes. So do watch out this morning for some potential flash flooding across parts of Jasper and Newton County this morning with this thunderstorm. We'll have a bigger, more in-depth look at the forecast here in just a moment.
Absolutely. Well, May is a National Foster Care Month, and in Joplin, Foster Adopt Connect aims at keeping kids out of foster care and supporting foster families.
KOAM's Fernanda Silva has more.
Being able to help them find a voice, help those young people find a course, chart a course into adulthood. Yeah, that was some of the most meaningful years of my life.
The important years in Tom's first life happened when he and his wife decided to become a foster family after their first daughter was born.
We had the conversation about how do we parent, how do we raise this child to be giving and loving and kind and generous and all of the things that you want your children to be. And we decided that we would open our home.
They opened not only their house, but also their hearts to more than 20 kids and teenagers. Their love ended up becoming 2 adoptions and a job. Fern now dedicates his career to making kids in foster care and foster families' lives better.
Now, when we think about taking on additional children in our home, there's a lot of burdens that come with that. Obviously, financial is the first one that always comes to mind. There's an additional cost associated with housing and feeding and supporting that child. And so we exist to provide some resources like that.
Clothes donation is just one of the initiatives provided by Foster Adopt Connect in Joplin. They also open opportunities and expand their services to families in 9 different counties in the area.
Well, definitely foster children are top of mind. There are a lot of services available to families regardless of situation.
Behavioral intervention, advocacy, and fostering prevention are some of the programs offered by the organization.
We come to work, but a lot of what we do doesn't really feel like work because we're coming in alongside families in challenging times, and we get to help them along the way and see them on the other side a lot of times, in a whole different light, and it's a really cool thing.
In Joplin, Fernanda Silva, KOAM News.
According to the organization, Jasper County has almost 400 kids in foster care. Foster Adopt Connect not only supports foster families, but also other members of the community.
And for more information on how to help and their upcoming events, you can head over to our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Certainly a lot of ways to help, and kind of a surprising number for that area as well, with the number of kids in foster care. So maybe you can help out there as well. We've got showers and thunderstorms expected through the day. In fact, we've got one ongoing right now in the city of Joplin, stretching back through Newton County out there. So this is a look from our camera on top of the Cornell Complex, downtown Joplin. It's a pretty heavy downpour just a few minutes ago. It's begun to clear out a bit from downtown. Still raining though, and there's still a lot of lightning with this thunderstorm out there as well. And lightning, whether the storm is strong or severe or not, does not matter. Lightning is still dangerous. It can still be deadly. So just make sure you're taking care of yourself out there, not hanging out in places you shouldn't be. Kids getting on the bus, get them up to the bus stop if you can. You got another view from MoDOT camera, 32nd and Range Line. We've seen, again, some impressive lightning strikes on these cameras, but it does appear, at least right now, that the lightning's kind of eased up a bit. We were looking at 30, 40 lightning strikes within just a few minutes. So here's that storm. It is really the main storm in our area. We got a little thunderstorm down near Bartlesville, but this one again producing quite a bit of lightning now northwest of Carthage, stretching now into eastern Cherokee County, down through Joplin, and just north of Seneca now. And on Seneca, got some showers and storms out there as well. All of this activity, at least here, is slowly lifting north, but take a look. It's all filling in out here, so that's why we're going to have those scattered showers and thunderstorms as we go through the day. 67 in Joplin right now, 71 in Pittsburgh. Still dry south of Pittsburgh on the KDOT camera there, but that, of course, will change. Temperatures, again, still holding upper 60s, low 70s, and we're really not expecting a lot of movement out of these temperatures as highs go low to mid 70s. Some of us may see upper 70s. Scattered thunderstorms continue through the day into the evening hours. Outside of the thunderstorms, we'll have winds gusting out of the south upwards of 30 miles an hour. We do have that possibility of a strong storm or two out there as well. We'll have another full look at your forecast, break down the weekend rain chances as well here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, thanks, Chris. Well, Joplin school board members are urging Missouri Governor Mike Parson to veto a bill that would raise teacher salaries and change how state aid to schools is calculated. The Missouri House passed the bill with a vote of 82 to 69, the bare minimum needed for approval. Supporters of the bill saying it's good for schools and teachers. However, members of the Joplin School Board believe otherwise.
We know that there's not an unlimited amount of money in Jefferson City, and we do not want the foundation formula or the transportation funding formula to be negatively impacted, which are currently fully funded. And we believe that this could potentially, SB 727 could potentially take funding from those crucial funding sources.
The Missouri National Education Association also opposes the bill, arguing it would funnel resources from public schools to private schools. 2 Ottawa County jail inmates are sentenced for setting a fire inside the jail. Court documents say it happened on December 23rd. Authorities say 30-year-old Justin Gehring and 23-year-old Tyler Tavis set the fire inside the jail. Both pleaded guilty to damage by fire of property owned by an institution receiving federal funding. Both are sentenced to 5 years in prison and 1 year of supervised release. Roper Kia in Joplin yesterday hosted its annual toy drive to benefit the Children's Center in Joplin. The dealership also presented a check for $9,000. The event marks the end of Child Abuse Awareness Month, and every year the dealership partners with the Children's Center, who works directly with victims of abuse.
For our community, that we had to help them do something with April being Child Abuse Awareness Month, and them doing what they do to help kids that have been through some sort of violent or threatening issue. They come alongside and they help those kids and those families get through what they need to get through.
The event also featured a drawing to win a car service package. Roper Kia has hosted this event for 11 years. And those are our top stories this half hour. Coming up next, we'll hear how area businesses leaders can earn education credits from the Stronghold Data Lunch and Learn. And later, our very own Tanya Bach takes a deep look at our infrastructure following the bridge collapse in Baltimore.
Ordinary is the opposite. Oklahoma.
Well, if you're a business leader and want to stay informed about the ever-changing laws and regulations in HR, there's a lunch for you. Greg Morris from Stronghold Data is with us this morning to invite you to a lunch to cover some HR hot topics. Welcome, Greg. Thank you so much for being with us this morning. So if you could talk to me a little bit about the Stronghold Data Lunch and Learn and kind of the idea behind it as well.
Yeah, so Stronghold Data has been putting on these lunch and learns this year. We had one back in February, we have this one coming up this coming Monday, and we have a couple more throughout the year. And the goal is just to have educational opportunities for leaders in our community, especially business and organizational leaders. And we're not just focusing on technology topics. This time around, we're actually focused on HR hot topics.
And so talk to me a little bit about specifically the topics that will be covered, because, you know, they're always changing and it's a lot to keep up with. So what do business leaders need to know and to expect when coming to this lunch?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, HR professionals, they have to comply with a lot of different laws and regulations, kind of stay up to date on all the trends happening, and it can kind of get confusing. So we're bringing in an expert, Karen Shannon from All Us Acres and Arty, an organization in Springfield, who specializes in HR, and she's going to be coming in and talking about all the different areas and things that you should be concerned about, and maybe things you aren't thinking about.
Yes, absolutely. And so those who attended this lunch will also be receiving a professional education credit.
Yes.
Can you elaborate a little bit more on that?
Yeah, so this Lunch and Learn has been certified for professional education credits through SHRM and the HRCI. And so if you are in need of credits, we highly encourage you to attend.
Absolutely.
You know, any business leader is welcome to come, but especially those who are in the HR related field or something very similar.
And for those who are seeing this today and who do want to attend, how can they do so? Is there a sign up, or is it free to the public?
It is free, but we do encourage you to sign up. You can visit strongholdhr.eventbrite.com. That's EVENTBRITE.com, and that will take you directly to the page where you can sign up for. And so, yeah, highly encourage all members in the community to check it out.
Absolutely. And this event is for Monday, May 6th. Can you talk to me about the location and the time for the event as well?
Yes. So this event's going to be held at Stronghold Data at our offices off of I-44, 7115 East 24th Street in Joplin. And it's going to start at 11:30, run to about 1:30 or so, and lunch will be provided.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, Greg, for being with us this morning.
Thank you.
If you would like more information, you can go to their website at strongholdhr.com, eventbrite.com. Chris will have a full look at your forecast when we come back.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 7:15, almost 7:16 on this Thursday morning, and it has been a stormy one, especially across parts of Jasper, Newton County, and now starting to work into eastern Cherokee County as well. Our camera, Cornell Complex, downtown Joplin, we've had some good rain ongoing down there. MoDOT camera, 32nd and range line. The other half of this equation here, there's been a lot of cloud-to-ground lightning with this thunderstorm. It's not strong, it's not severe, but it's producing a lot of dangerous lightning out there. So as you're heading out today, just make sure you're aware of that. Make sure you're not doing anything you shouldn't be doing when there's lightning around out there. And then the KDOT camera south of Pittsburgh. Now, it is still dry. However, we're seeing a little more lightning close here to the station. We're just south of this by, about 8 miles or so. Not raining at the station yet, but take a look at the Skywatch Storm Tracker. We've got this is the biggest thunderstorm we've got right now. It's the main thunderstorm we've got, and look at all of that lightning with it. And you can see the other issue was it kept redeveloping and retraining. It is beginning to slide north. It's getting out of Newton County now, and will eventually be getting out of Jasper County, but it is starting to work into the eastern portions of Cherokee County, and there's also now a flood advisory for Jasper and Newton County through 10 a.m. With minor flooding in low-lying areas being a concern, because, I mean, you look at the loop on this from 5 a.m. to now, it really hasn't moved a lot. I mean, it's moving, but it just kept redeveloping out there. And we'll see additional scattered showers and thunderstorms across the area as we head through our day. So this complex up north that rolled through initially southeastern Nebraska, that was the complex that the future track models showed for us. But the thunderstorms we had yesterday that just kept recycling and dying kind of eroded the ability for storms to develop, which is why there's that huge gap in activity across southern Kansas. But, well, we had a chance to warm up. We had a chance to bring some instability in, and we're going to have these scattered storms out there. Now, there is that potential for a strong to low-grade severe thunderstorm out there, and as such, we do have a low-end tornado risk, primarily across southeastern Kansas, and then across the entire area, we have a low-end risk for hail and damaging wind gusts out there. So again, the overall severe threat is relatively low, but it is there, so we'll keep an eye on these storms as we go through the morning and into the afternoon and early evening. Here we are at noon. Again, these are scattered storms, so it won't be raining all day everywhere, but we'll have showers and thunderstorms continuing across the area in scattered form. Because of the pauses and where there might even be some brief clearing, depending on when that happens and how much sunshine you see, you may be a little warmer than your neighbors out there, but on average, we're looking at highs into the low to mid 70s, but some of you may make the upper 70s. After about 6, 7 o'clock this evening, most of those storms are out of here. And we'll be mostly cloudy tonight. We'll start to clear out for our Friday and go mostly clear through the evening hours. And then as we head into early Saturday morning after midnight, it's about 4 or 5 a.m., here comes another round of showers and thunderstorms rolling through the area. Here it is by 8, starting to cross into Missouri. And before lunchtime, those storms are out of here, but they're not the only storm chances that we've got. Quick look at temperatures. We got the thunderstorm in Joplin progressively coming to an end. 67, south breeze at 22, gusting upwards of 31. Temperatures around the area, again, just kind of hovering. That's what they'll do most of the day. Upper 60s and low 70s out there. We're looking again at highs today. Most of us into the low to mid 70s. Warmer tomorrow, upper 70s. Storms again Saturday morning, and they'll stick with us through next Tuesday. And we are keeping our eye on the possibility of some strong, potentially severe storms Monday into Tuesday. So we'll keep an eye on that as well. That's Check Your Forecast. We're back with more right after this.
At 5 right here on Fox 14.
After the collapse of the Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore, concerns over the structural integrity of aging bridges moved to the state and local levels.
KOAM's Tanya Bach sat down with county road and bridge superintendents in both Kansas and Missouri to see where they stand.
We have the most storm water drain off in the entire state in Cherokee County. I believe it has to do with the two rivers. We're in the very corner.
Cody Zook is referring to the Neosho and Spring Rivers and all of their creeks and tributaries that call for hundreds of culverts and 234 county-maintained bridges. The Cherokee County Road and Bridge Superintendent says each of those bridges is inspected yearly.
Our department goes on those bridge inspections. Whatever they tell us needs addressed first, those are the ones that get addressed first.
Like replacing the 1935 Brush Creek Bridge on East Country Road just past the Cherokee County Jail.
It had a safety issue. It was misaligned and it was structurally getting unsound.
According to the Kansas National Bridge Inventory, in 2022, inspectors marked 17 of Cherokee County's county-maintained bridges as poor. Inspection records reveal similar numbers for neighboring counties in southeast Kansas, with Bourbon County slightly higher. It has 31 listed in poor condition.
It gets more traffic, so that's how we try to run it.
Zook says his goal is to address one bridge every year, and most of the time it's an 80-20 split, with KDOT paying 80% and the county the rest.
I think they call it Old Swift.
Across the state line in Jasper County, 40 bridges are in need of attention. I met Jasper County Highway Department Superintendent Bob Burris in Sarcoxie, where he says engineers are developing a plan to replace the Joplin Street Bridge. In the meantime, he's keeping his crew focused on the 560 miles of road the county maintains.
We have a lot of ag and agricultural activities in Jasper County. We have dairy farms and turkey farms, and those folks still need to come and go and get out of there.
Aside from Mother Nature, Burris says the cost of materials is one of his biggest challenges.
We've gone from approximately $50 a ton for asphalt pre-COVID to now it's $60+ a ton.
Zook says he can relate. He's in charge of maintaining 1,300 miles in his county, 301 that are paved.
I met a guy that had 7 in his county, and I was so jealous because all of ours are failing and they didn't have a plan, and we're trying to build a plan.
Part of that plan includes maintaining the highest traveled road that the county is responsible for, Old 96, from 69 Highway to the Missouri state line where MoDOT takes over. The Kansas portion of the highway has 4 bridges, including this 90-year-old one. Inspection reports show more than 2,500 vehicles drive over it every day.
I feel that we are right on track to where we need to be. We are in a growing phase, I would say. We have a lot of stuff to do, but if citizens just bear with us, we'll make it through. I'm not a person that believes in higher taxes to get the job done. So,
reporting in the 4 states, Tanya Bach, KOAM News.
In 2020, Cherokee County spent $3.6 million maintaining its roads and bridges. $1.75 million went to road and bridge maintenance,
while $425,000 was spent on construction costs, including roads and culverts. Certainly a lot to keep in mind. And while the Francis Scott Key Bridge was taken out,
yes,
a lot of that was the big contributing factor was the size and weight of that barge. But
course, yes.
you know, we were thinking back to the I-35 bridge collapse in Minneapolis in 2007,
yes.
and the Safe and Sound Bridge program that was launched from there. So still, there's a lot of things you got to keep in mind. Then there are a lot of old bridges out there.
Absolutely. It's interesting to see what's in our area.
There certainly is. A lot of them are older than what you may think.
Certainly. Well, coming up, Trump's path to the White House is a steep one. We'll have the details on how his legal battles are taking away from his campaign trail.
And we've got some scattered showers and at least one good thunderstorm out there this morning. More on the way. We'll have another look at that forecast when the KOAM Morning News returns.
Joplin. Savings not seen since the 5-cent cigar.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. It's currently 7:29. I'm Elise Snowy. The Oklahoma Department of Transportation says it's monitoring a logjam on the Neosho River at Twin Bridges State Park, but isn't closing the bridge just yet. A news release from ODOT says the Highway 60 bridge can withstand a building of drift much larger than the current logjam and found it isn't structurally in danger. They say they are working with the GRDA and BNSF Railroad to come up with a plan to remedy the jam, but must wait until water levels subside. More than 400 administrators, teachers, and board members from 41 area schools met up in Webb City for a celebration of schools. The Southwest Center hosted the celebration, which featured awards including the Southwest Center Trailblazer Award, Teachers of the Year, and Making Learning Come Alive Awards.
Oh, tonight is a great night. It's a unique opportunity for this area. We have 23 schools coming together, and we're going to celebrate all the great going on in them.
It was 26 years in the making to win Teacher of the Year. It's a huge, prestigious award for our district, and I was very overwhelmed and very grateful and very humbled because I knew the people that I was in the running with.
This is the Southwest Center's 25th year of hosting this celebration. High school students in Carthage got to show off their hard work yesterday at the Project Lead the Way Senior Showcase. The event is a celebration of the designs and innovations of engineering and biomedical students. One educator says it could also help give students valuable insight as they look ahead to their careers.
I think just the passion that they have, and hopefully they have either found that this is a field they want to go into, or maybe they have found that they don't want to. And that's okay, because they've saved some money by identifying that early on. But just the skills, like I said, and the ability to communicate and articulate those things is pretty awesome to see.
Students were able to showcase their designs with a model, prototype, or schematic and create a marketing plan to pitch their products to potential investors. Pottamotasie County officials confirm one person was killed when a tornado hit Westmoreland late Tuesday afternoon. Officials say the tornado hit the city at 4:41 p.m. on Tuesday. Assessments are ongoing, but responders say the damage is extensive. Authorities say the northern part of the city was hit hardest. In addition to the one person killed, 3 people are hospitalized with injuries. Multiple first responders have arrived in Westmoreland to conduct grid searches to catalog damage and search for people who may have been injured.
And we've got scattered showers and thunderstorms in our forecast for us today. And we've got that one good thunderstorm that's been over Joplin, starting to slowly drift to the north and now even a little bit to the west. So it's getting into eastern Cherokee County. MoDOT camera, 32nd and range line, looking better so far. Not as much heavy rain there as we had been seeing, but there's still a lot of lightning with this particular storm as it continues to drift off to the north and west. So you can see the biggest concentration of lightning now entering into eastern Cherokee County. It's actually just outside of the station here, so we've been hearing the thunder, we've been seeing the lightning outside. Lightning, of course, very dangerous, potentially deadly. You don't want to be messing around with it, so as you're getting your day underway, just bear in mind that at least with that particular cell, we've got a lot of lightning with it. We've also had some flood concerns. There's a flood advisory for Jasper and Newton counties through 10 a.m. With some flooding concerns in some of the low-lying areas out there because that storm just kept redeveloping training over the same areas, dropping a lot of rainfall. Right now in Joplin, it is 67, 71 in Pittsburgh. We've got that shower there. Still on the dry side down by Pittsburgh, but again, rain will continue to overspread the area through the day. Temperatures hovering in the upper 60s, low 70s. We're not expecting a lot of movement with these temperatures, although some of us with the scattered storms, if you get a long enough break or maybe a little more sunshine, could go upper 70s. Scattered storms continue through the day into the evening hours. A couple of strong to low-grade severe thunderstorms will be possible, but the good news is at this point, the overall severe threat's relatively limited. We'll also have south winds gusting upwards of about 30 miles an hour. We'll have another full look at your forecast. Take a look at our weekend storm chances here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, thanks, Chris. Well, former President Donald Trump returned to the campaign trail yesterday with events in Wisconsin and Michigan. He won those two battleground states in 2016, but lost them 4 years later to President Joe Biden. These campaign stops come after a notable lull in Trump's campaign activity in the week since his first criminal trial started in New York. Julia Benbrook has the latest on the presidential race.
Donald Trump is the first former president to face criminal charges, and he's required to attend his hush money trial in Manhattan.
I should be right now in Pennsylvania, in Florida, in many other states, North Carolina, Georgia, campaigning.
But the trial goes dark on Wednesdays, and for the first time since it started, Trump is venturing out of New York to hold a campaign rally midweek. The former president is using his day off to visit two key battleground states, Wisconsin and Michigan. Trump won both of these states in 2016, but they flipped for President Joe Biden in 2020.
Look, our plan is working. America's coming back.
In 2024, Wisconsin and Michigan are up for grabs.
As you know, we'll be holding our convention in Milwaukee just a few months from now. And we can't wait. That means you got to vote for us because we're spending our money in your state.
A recent CBS News poll shows Trump and Biden in a neck-and-neck race in both states. They're also nearly tied in Pennsylvania, a third swing state that flipped for Biden 4 years ago. Trump's return to full-time campaign mode is fleeting. He must be back in the New York courtroom on Thursday and then again on Friday. The former president faces 34 counts of falsifying business records, stemming from a hush money payment to an adult film star before the 2016 election to cover up an alleged affair. Trump denies the affair and has pleaded not guilty. Reporting in Washington, I'm Julia Benbrook.
That's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOA Morning News. Congress is looking into reclassifying marijuana while other members are calling to lift the federal ban. We'll have the latest on what this could mean for you.
Welcome to Miss Daisy's, where style meets.
And Consumer Watch this morning. The FDA and the CDC are investigating a potential outbreak of E. coli linked to certain organic walnuts. The FDA says the organic walnuts halves and pieces from Gibson Farms were recalled last Friday after the brand received information that the product was potentially contaminated with E. coli. The FDA says the walnuts were sold in 20 states, including Texas, California, Nevada, and Washington. The CDC reports 12 illnesses and 7 hospitalizations in California and Washington are linked to organic walnuts. Johnson & Johnson is offering to pay nearly $6.5 billion to settle tens of thousands of talc cancer lawsuits. The proposed settlement is intended to resolve the lawsuits that allege the company's baby powder and other talc-based products cause ovarian cancer. Johnson & Johnson says, quote, none of the talc-related claims against it have merit. If 75% of the lawsuit's petitioners approve the deal, the company says it may file pre-packaged Chapter 11 bankruptcy. It's never too early to start your Mother's Day shopping. Kids of all ages have just over a week to get mom the perfect gift, whether it's a classic flowers and a card or something a bit more personal. Experts say it's best to get something specific to her and her needs. Well, efforts to reclassify marijuana as a less dangerous drug press on. This comes as some members of Congress are calling for an end to the federal ban on cannabis. Fox News correspondent Kevin Cork takes a closer look at the process and its possible effects.
The tides could be changing when it comes to cannabis. The U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration is advancing a proposal to reclassify marijuana as a less dangerous drug.
Marijuana is currently classified as a Schedule I drug alongside heroin and LSD. The proposal would move it to Schedule III alongside ketamine and anabolic steroids.
The plan still needs to be reviewed by the White House Office of Management and Budget before going through a period of public comment and review from an administration judge.
Still, it would recognize the medical uses of cannabis, but it would not legalize marijuana outright for recreational use.
If the proposal goes through, it could have big impacts for cannabis businesses. Currently, federal tax rules bar marijuana companies from writing off expenses like rent and payroll. They also can face tax rates of 70% or more. Reclassifying marijuana as a Schedule III drug could reduce some of those financial burdens. This comes as several Democratic senators introduced the Cannabis Administration and Opportunity Act Wednesday.
Our legislation will finally remove marijuana from the federal list of controlled substances. It will expunge the criminal records of so many Americans with low-level marijuana offenses.
Reclassifying marijuana could also advance science, with Schedule III drugs easier for researchers to use in authorized clinical studies where participants are given such substances. I'm Kevin Cork, Fox News.
That's it for Consumer Watch. Here are the market prices before the opening bell.
Get hooked on a big win this.
Hello, possibilities.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 7:44 on this Thursday morning. This is a live look from our camera on the Cornell Complex downtown Joplin. That thunderstorm that just kind of trained over the city for about an hour and a half is starting now to lift off to the north and a little to the northwest. So the rain is coming to a close in Joplin. Still the flood advisory for Jasper and Newton County because of all the rain this storm did drop. So watch out for flooding in low-lying areas and at low water crossings out there. All right. MoDOT camera, 32nd and range line, again looking pretty good. Still got lightning in the area though, and we're looking all right from the KDOT camera south of Pittsburgh. Again, it is still dry as the shower is just immediately to the east of this spot here. So we got thunderstorms developing along a boundary now across parts of southeastern Kansas. No strong or severe thunderstorms out there at this point, but it is a possibility as we go through the day. So taking a closer look at this one just continued to train from 5 a.m. until now. It's beginning to fizzle out. Still getting some lightning out here now just to the northeast of the station. We're still hearing the thunder here, and we'll see more showers and thunderstorms around the area as this boundary continues to set off showers and storms. We'll see a few more lift up out of the north. This one will shift off to the east, and we'll have those scattered thunderstorms through the day. We do have a low-end risk for strong to maybe a low-grade severe storm or two across the area, and that does come, unfortunately, with a risk for a low-end risk for a possible tornado and a low-end risk for some large hail or damaging wind gusts. Now, again, the overall severe threat is relatively low, but it's not zero, so we'll keep an eye on these storms in case any of them pick up some intensity later today. As we continue through the day, again, scattered showers and storms, so it won't be rain everywhere all at once, but there will be thunderstorms out there, and outside of the thunderstorms, we'll have winds out of the south gusting upwards of 30. We're looking at highs for the most part to be in the low to mid 70s, but some of you in some of these breaks, you may get a little more sunshine or a slightly longer break between storms, and you could make it into the upper 70s. Once we get into late evening hours, the showers are gone. We're going to be left with mostly cloudy skies as we go overnight tonight, and then into our Friday, we'll see some clearing, and by Friday late afternoon and into the evening, we'll have mostly clear skies out there looking pretty good ahead of another round of showers and storms that'll be begin about, say, 4 a.m. or so Saturday into southeastern Kansas. And this batch of storms will roll through, moving into Missouri by about 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. And before lunchtime, it is out of here. And then we'll have additional shower and thunderstorm chances as we head into our Sunday as well. Quick look outside. Our camera 7 in range line. You can see the heavier rain now off to the north and west of the city. 67, south breeze 22, gusting to 31 out there. Temperatures again around the region are holding into the upper 60s and low 70s, and for most of us, we're not going to see a lot of movement on those temperatures. Scattered showers and storms through the morning, the gusty south winds. Temperatures again just kind of hovering out there across the area. We'll have those storms continue. Highs again low to mid 70s, maybe a couple of upper 70s possible. Tomorrow, though, much warmer, upper 70s. Got those thunderstorms Saturday, more storm chances all the way through Tuesday. We are keeping the eye on the possibility of some strong, potentially severe storms Monday into Tuesday, so just keep that in mind as we go through the weekend. Otherwise, 80, break from the rain on Wednesday, more showers and storms possible Thursday and Friday. That's Check Your Forecast. We're back with more right after this.
Hall, this morning at 10, right here on Fox 14.
When was the last time you thought about your mental health? Well, if you haven't given your brain and emotions some TLC lately, now could be your time, with May marking National Mental Health Awareness Month.
Fox News' Chris DeMeo takes a closer look at what you and your family can do to promote wellness, plus how social media could be impeding on your happiness.
With May marking National Mental Health Awareness Month, psychologists say it's okay not to be okay, encouraging people to reduce the stigmas surrounding mental health disorders and seek help.
We all have anger. We all have stress.
The National Institute of Mental Health estimates more than 1 in 5 adults are living with a mental illness. This, as data from the National Alliance on Mental Illness reveals, 1 in 6 kids ages 6 to 17 experience a mental health disorder every year.
The self-confidence that we can handle difficult situations is something that if we can teach kids and have these experiences for children that they get through difficult times, then as adults, when you're faced with difficult times, you're more likely to be able to cope with it.
Because kids can have a harder time putting their feelings into words.
Taking the amount of time that maybe you spend on social media and applying it to talking to your child can be really helpful.
Meanwhile, a growing number of psychologists recommend parents talk to their kids about how the media they consume can negatively impact their minds.
There's a lot of research that shows that engaging with appearance-focused content is worse for us. So if it's very appearance-focused, body-focused, etc., those tend to be worse for mental health.
Experts also warn levels of mental health issues like eating disorders and body dysmorphia could worsen as artificial intelligence and filters become more integrated into social media platforms.
The average person can generate images of themselves or use these AI generators to modify how they look, and they don't have to disclose that. And I think it's really going to be tough to navigate because it's inherently really unattainable, right?
Chris DeMeo, Fox News.
It's certainly important to take care of yourself mentally,
Absolutely.
you know, at all times. That's why for me, anything I have on social media, 90% of it is generated by the station. It's my weather posts, weather updates. Yes. I try to avoid it as much as possible because it just, when I was younger, it was fascinating.
Right,
Now I'm
absolutely.
like,
it's
just not
complicated,
it is.
and it's just, it adds a lot of pressure on people for sure.
It really does. And we got some thunderstorms out there this morning. Let's take a quick look at the Skywatch Storm Tracker. And we can see we've got that one thunderstorm. It was going really good over Joplin this morning. There was a lot of lightning with this storm. It is beginning to die out now, but still ongoing. But now we have a boundary out across southeastern Kansas triggering additional showers and thunderstorms. And that will continue to be the case. So here's this guy now starting to roll on out. These dark gray colors on the lightning strikes means that data is old. So we're starting to see a lot less lightning as this storm begins to die out there. And we've got additional showers and storms that'll be scattered across the area. We'll continue with these scattered storms as we go through the morning into the afternoon, and they'll finally start to clear out by late evening. We're at 67 in Joplin, 72 in Pittsburgh. Temperatures around the region, again, holding into the upper 60s and low 70s. We're not expecting a lot of movement with these. We'll also have some gusty south winds pushing 30 miles an hour. We'll have another look at your forecast, plus the news you need to know right after this.
A four-state hero.
Here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. 2 Ottawa County, Oklahoma jail inmates are sentenced for setting a fire inside the jail. Authorities say 30-year-old Justin Gehring and 23-year-old Tyler Tavis set the fire inside the jail on December 23rd. Both pleaded guilty to damage by fire of property owned by an institution receiving federal funding. Both are sentenced to 5 years in prison and 1 year of supervised release. And Joplin school board members are urging Missouri Governor Mike Parson to veto a bill that would raise teachers' salaries and change how state aid to schools is calculated. The Missouri House passed the bill with a vote of 82 to 69. The Missouri National Education Association also opposes the bill, arguing it would funnel resources from public schools to private schools.
And we've got ourselves scattered showers and thunderstorms throughout the day. We've got a few of them out there now, and they'll continue across the area. And we're looking at highs, most of us in the low to mid 70s, a couple upper 70s possible, with winds gusting out of the south upwards of 30 miles an hour. Showers and storms will diminish through the evening. We'll go mostly cloudy tonight, falling back into the upper 50s and low 60s. We're looking pretty good for our Friday. We'll start to clear out. Temperatures upper 70s. We'll have showers and storms in the first half of our Saturday. And more thunderstorms chances Sunday through Tuesday. Some of those could be strong, potentially severe Monday and Tuesday, so we'll keep an eye on that for you. Breaking the rain on Wednesday, more showers possible Thursday and Friday.
All righty, thanks, Chris. Well, keepers at the Houston Zoo welcomed a newborn baby giraffe last weekend. Footage released by the Houston Zoo on May 1st shows Tino, the baby giraffe born to mom Camille overnight, into Saturday, April 27th.
According to the zoo, the keepers knew that Kamali was pregnant, but didn't know the exact delivery date and were surprised when they found the baby giraffe on Saturday morning. Tino weighs 160 pounds and stands at an impressive 6 feet, according to the zoo. That's a pretty tall baby.
That's my height. A giraffe that tall?
That's a baby giraffe.
A baby
That's
giraffe.
a baby giraffe.
Course,
yeah,
yes.
wait till it gets, bigger. It'll be slightly taller than that.
Wow.
Well, thanks for letting us put the good in your morning. We're back at noon.
Well, have a great rest of your morning.